Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sandrockcstm Gaming Channel. Today we are playing Shadowrun Returns. This is an installment in the very popular Shadowrun franchise, which started as a pen and paper role-playing game. Think Dungeons and Dragons, where you play on the table with your friends. You got a little character sheet. This is like that, except that instead of fantasy, it is cyberpunk urban fantasy. Very interesting setting, very unique. There's not really anything else like it. You see elements of it other places, but you don't really see this blend like you do in Shadowruns. There's been several expansions to this game. There's been Dragonfall and Hong Kong. There's also another spin-off series called Shadowrun Chronicles. The reason it's called Shadowrun Returns is because there was a period of time where there were no Shadowrun games. There was a disastrous game launch in 2007 called, I think just Shadowrun, and it was a first-person shooter of all things, which is a weird transition, and it was awful. Almost killed the franchise, to be honest. Fans were not at all pleased. Nobody was pleased. It wasn't a good thing. So they kickstarted this game because they couldn't find a publisher that would take a risk on the Shadowrun Chronicles series, and here we are. We've got Shadowrun Returns, the first installment in a series of isometric, tactical, strategic RPGs. Pretty fun. So we're going to be playing through this game. We'll start here, and if all goes well, we may even jump into Dragonfall, which would be a blind playthrough for me. Maybe we'll even get to Hong Kong or some mods or other things like that someday. And that is something worth noting, is that if you go down to this content section here, there's other things you can play. So it comes with the Dead Man Switch, which is kind of the campaign for the game. They've also got some other things in here, just some environments, tile sets, functionality, things like that. But you can see I've also subscribed to these other mods here. Basically, people make their own campaigns and upload them onto Steam, the Steam Workshop, and you can play through them. Don't know if any of them are any good. Maybe we'll get to those, but today we're going to start with the base campaign. We're going to go into a new game. We're going to play the Dead Man Switch, and we're going to set it to hard because that's going to make for a much more a much more enjoyable video series, I believe. Normal is good, and it's a challenge, but since I've played through it already, I think hard mode just makes sense at this point. So we're going to launch right in. We're going to make a female character, because why not? And now we get to decide what race to be. You've got humans, elves, dwarves, orcs, and trolls. Basically, the backstory is that there was a cataclysm that happened maybe 50 years before the game takes place. It takes place in 2078, I believe. And afterwards, it kind of distorted some humans into orcs, and then some babies were born as like dwarves and elves and trolls and things of that nature. They're called metahumans, and it just kind of interesting. And after that cataclysm, dragons returned and magic returned, and so you've got this blend of magic and technology in this game series. So the question is, who do we want to play? I'd like someone with high intelligence. You'll see why in a moment. So that means that trolls and orcs are going to be out, which is fine. I've never really enjoyed playing as those in fantasy races. So let's see here. Humans get +3 karma to start the game. Karma is kind of the experience in this game, so it kind of gives them a little bit of a head start. That wouldn't be bad. Elves get a +1 to charisma. That is very nice. And dwarves have +1 to willpower, which might be good. Willpower is the stat for magic. Intelligence is the stat for interacting with computers, things like that. Charisma is exactly what it sounds like. It's for talking to people, getting conversations going, dialogue, things of that nature. Strength is for weaponry. And I believe quickness is the ability to dodge, and I think it also has something to do with how many movement actions you have per turn. I think we're going to go with an elf. It gives us some quickness, high charisma, intelligence, decent amount of willpower. I just like that. And I've always been a fan of elves in all the games I've played. Don't know why, it's just kind of my thing. So, archetypes. We have Street Samurai, which is exactly what it sounds like. They're all about weapons. A good class. We're not going to be playing that. There's Mage. Exactly what it sounds like. It's all about spells. My first playthrough, I did play as a mage. It was a challenge because if someone gets close, you're in trouble, and at the beginning of the game, you don't have a lot of spells to draw from. Really good. Not what we're going to be playing either. Jumping over one, you can already figure out which one I'm playing, can't you? Shaman. Basically, a little bit of backstory here is that the Native Americans, after the cataclysm, figured out that their rituals actually worked again, or perhaps were working more powerful than intended. It's not quite certain. But basically, they were able to call upon totem spirits and things of that nature, and they were able to reclaim the West. A huge portion of the United States was taken back by the Native Americans and their shamans. So you can play as a shaman in this game. They're kind of a mix of like a mage and a support class. They do a lot of buffing and things of that nature. They're pretty good. We'll be having them on our team. Not playing them either. Rigger. The Rigger uses cybertech to jack their minds into and control small robot-like vehicles called drones. Riggers use their rigging abilities to provide surveillance, support, and extra firepower when required. So they basically get to use drones, little robots that do their bidding, which is nice, but it also requires them to stay somewhere safe. Kind of a tricky play style. And then finally, a physical adept. These are basically spell swords. They're all about using magic to buff close range abilities. And then you also have the option to choose your own archetype, go with a nun. So in other words, the game will not build a class for you. You have to do it on your own. Good for advanced players who are wanting something a little different. I'm not feeling that spicy today, so we are going to be going with the Decker. Deckers use a cyber deck to jack into the Matrix, the worldwide information grid and computer network. By projecting their minds into the electronic world, Deckers can find secrets others keep hidden away. They use programs and expert systems to fight off the protections that megacorporations place in their way. Key attribute is intelligence, key skill is decking, key specialization is expert systems. We're playing a hacker. That's just what I feel like playing. So we're going to be going for the hacker. So now we get to choose our portrait. We also get to choose kind of what our character looks like. Not quite sure what I want to go with. This looks pretty cool. Maybe we'll go with something like that. Oh, there we go. That's nice. Yeah, a lot of pretty good options in this game. There's a little bit of something here for everybody. Yeah, that's it. Right there. So I'm going to... Doesn't look like I can really change it, but you know what? I like that. I like that. So now we're going to go to our stats. Karma. So again, karma is basically experience points. You need to put points into this. It really is like the pen and paper RPGs where you need to spend points on stats in order to be able to do better things. Whether that's combat or hacking or talking to people, things like that. You need to be able to have your stats high so that you can do well. There's dice rolls that will happen in the background. I don't believe the game shows you the results, it just shows the outcome, but they are there. So the way it works in this game is that as you can see here, in order to jump from, say, 4 to 5, you have to spend 5 karma points. So it gets exponentially more expensive to level up. So if you wanted to jump from 11 to 12, you would need 12 karma points. It's a lot. It's a lot of points, but it's interesting. It makes you really think about, what you want to do. So we start with 5. The game gives us some stats to begin with. We have body. This determines resistance to physical damage, increases chance to take reduced damage from attacks, also increases our hit points. Quickness is used to calculate the chance to hit in range combat and reduces the chance to be hit. So it's all about, you know, can you get out of the way and how good are you at shooting back. We have no points in range combat here. That's just kind of the thing with deckers. That's not really what they do. We get a little bit of strength, a little bit of close combat, throwing weapons. We do have intelligence, and we start with decking, ESP control. So let's see what we got here. It doesn't look like hovering over it will do anything. So if we're going to be a good hacker, we need to build up this decking. That needs to be a priority for us, so we may dump some points into that. I also don't want to hamstring ourselves, though. If we get caught out in the open on the streets, being able to hack isn't going to do us much good. So we need to have a little bit of balance. I could spend 4 points to jump into this, which would give us a new etiquette. I'm not going to spoil what that is just yet, but it is important. These little diamonds tell you when you get to a new unlockable, essentially. And it looks like that's it. So, I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put a little bit into range combat. I want our guy to be decent with guns. I don't want it to be his main focus. So we're going to go with 1 into range combat. And I'm also going to go with shotguns, because why not? Shotguns are really good in this game. I think with this kind of character, we're going to be pretty squishy. I don't want to mess around with suboptimal weapons, especially because it's been a while and I don't remember exactly how good, say, rifles, SMGs, and pistols are. I do remember that shotguns are good, so we're going to go with that. We unlock, for 1 point, the ability Kneecap. +1 AP damage, -6 HP damage. It can hit multiple targets, and it has a 2-round cooldown. Just stupid. Just stupid that you unlock this at level 1. It's really, really good. Basically, you're doing AP is action points, so you're basically slowing them down and doing damage, and it can hit multiple targets. It's just such a good use of that point. I don't remember what this does. Critical damage percentage visible. Okay, so that's basically just telling us that you have, you know, like say a 15% chance at a critical. Not something I'm all that interested in right now. Dodge might be good. Yeah, not sure. We can't get any more intelligence. I mean, we could, but we'd have to get rid of everything we just did, which I'm not interested in doing. I think we're going to take a look at this. So this allows us to equip a decking piece of equipment, which we need. And then this mark target 1, increase your chance to hit enemies by 10% when used. So basically, when we're in the Matrix, this is going to allow us to increase the ability to hit enemies by 10%. And it looks like this allows us to equip a new decking thing, another mark target, a new decking. And that's just kind of how things go. So this is just allowing us to get better equipment, which is really good. We're going to need that. This also increases the power of our programs in the Matrix. So I'm going to go ahead and get Mark Target. This gives us 1 point left to work with. We're not going to go into magic at all with this build. Well, there is a school of thought that says you should always get heal. I don't remember if that's early on or not. Yeah, it's a bit of a crapshoot. A bit of a crapshoot. What do we got here? Is this it? No. No. Yeah, I'm just not going to mess with it. we'll have the ability to hire other people, people to fill out our party and help us to shore up the weaknesses that we have. So it's just not really worth it. We're not going to go for that at all. I think I'm just going to go for dodge. You know, give us a chance to not get hit if someone comes up close. Again, we're not going to be going into these other weapons. That's not my plan anyway. That could change as the playthrough continues. But I think I like this. I think this is a pretty good start. We've got some strength, a little bit of points in throwing weapons, and this could be good too, though. Now we'll put some points in that later. That's fine. Okay, so we're gonna jump on in. So this is the etiquette that I was talking about. This is basically, what kind of a person are you? Are you a corporate person? Do you use corporate tech speak? Do you have kind of a security mindset? Are you a socialite? Are you a Shadowrunner? Shadowrunners in this game are essentially the criminals. They go into corporations and steal things. It's very thematic with our character. We may go with this. We could also go for street or academic, socialite gang, things like that. I think we're going to go with Shadowrunner. I think that just fits. You know, we're kind of this character that goes into these corporations and steals things from them. Just fits. So our backstory is that we are a hacker who is looking for work, and we've kind of got this reputation as a Shadowrunner, and this might help us later on. We'll see. So we're going to confirm that. And now we get to name our character. Now, many runners use a street name, handle, or working name. Names like Half-Jack or Lady Z. Others stick with their given name or adopt a nickname. So again, the role-playing element of this game is very strong. They're trying to get you into the world. I wish that I could play the music, because it really does a very good job at pulling you into this environment, this world. But of course, with YouTube policies and things like that, we just can't do that. I'm gonna go with Dracia. That's just kind of the character name I go with in my any of the games I play where I play as a female character. The red hair is kind of also something I do with those characters. We're going to confirm, and this will launch us into the game. So, down and out. Your apartment, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's got 4 walls, a roof, and isn't on fire. Even the cockroaches have fled in search of better accommodation. Not exactly a runner's dream pad, but right now it's about all you have left. Running the shadows is all about feast or famine. One day you're Nova hot, working jobs that allow you to eat at 5-star restaurants. The next, well, you're here. This one's a famine for the ages. Slagging fixer hasn't called, the money's run out, and then some. Sinless and free to starve in the cracks of a society run by megacorps who just want your nuyen. Something needs to change, and soon. So here we are in our crappy apartment. Again, this is an isometric game, so it has kind of this top-down perspective. Think Baldur's Gate, or what was that old game? Ars Magica, Technica Obscura, I think. So you click to move, kind of a point-and-click game. The click detection in this game is a little wonky. You can be clicking on things, and it just doesn't register sometimes. So if you see me clicking a lot, that's why. Slip of paper with your bank balance and never to cover you through the end of the week. So again, we're kind of hard on our luck here. Your notebook, calendar, contacts, that kind of a thing. Let's view our list of contacts. The list is sad, dried up. So you can see that we're kind of without any leads here. You know, these people are all dead or retired or dead. So just kind of, you know, again, letting you know that this is pretty bad right now. We got nothing to do, so we're in pretty sad state of affairs. Oh, your vid phone rings, jarring you. Who's calling at 3 a.m.? I don't know. Let's check our computer. Because that's what you do in RPGs. You don't do what the game tells you to do. Computer's broken. Sad thing for a rigger. Ah, Sam Watts. The screen leaps to life, making you squint against its brightness. The face of the screen is laughing. Sam Watts. Hey, buddy. Hope I didn't catch you at a bad time. He giggles. He's drunk again. Or worse. So we've got some options here. You get dialogue choices in this game. Sometimes they affect the story, sometimes they're just for flavor. The game doesn't tell you, unlike some games. A lot of BioWare games are kind of moving to that. BioWare kind of invented or not invented, but they set the gold standard for dialogue trees. But players were complaining like, oh, I don't know what it's going to do. You know, is it going to be a good choice, a bad choice? And it just... yeah, BioWare basically started showing what each choice would do, or at least gave you the option to. This game doesn't do that. It's a role-playing game, so you play as your character and you just deal with the consequences. I really like that. So now we get to decide kind of what our character is doing, like what is their personality. So she's a Shadowrunner. I think she's going to be pretty blunt with people. So you're zoned. Another giggle. Oh, don't bother with your side of the conversation. I'm not really here. Just one reason for this vid. Someone finally geeked me. I'm dead. I probably had it coming. When you're an unsavory character like myself, you tend to associate with other unsavory characters who often partake in unsavory business. Like you, for example. So why am I dead? Who knows? Probably my fault. Wonder where you are right now. I bet you hit a big payday and you're living high on the hog somewhere. No. No, this is a hellhole. Some of us are born winners and some of us are me. Hey, you remember that Renraku run when things went to hell and we lost Dowd? Or that makeshift saloon on the docks afterwards? I really had your back that night, didn't I? Dowd. That's a name you haven't heard in a long time. "3 years ago, a makeshift bar on the Seattle docks. The night Dowd went down." Sangoma is an urban shaman who proved her worth during a run against Fuchi last fall. She's the quiet type, an experienced runner. We're on the open here, Dracia. Ready to bolt? Neg, not yet. Let's give the fixer another 5 minutes. And here's that, yeah, the clicking being kind of wonky like I was talking about. You've been running with new Larry for about 6 months now. He's a combat mage with a bad tattoo and a bad attitude. He knew Dowd almost as well as you did. Dowd. Never saw anybody die like that before. Idiot. He shakes his head. I hate this fragging city, Dracia. It's wet and the rain feels like acid and I want out of here. We wait for the money. Yeah, sure, of course. I'll wait all night if I have to. I don't know, Dracia. Sam is a good guy and can hold his own in a fight, but he's been hitting the bottle pretty good lately. Never on a run, so far, but he needs watching. He shakes his head. That run went sideways 9 ways a Sunday. Now the fixer is late. The bastard better show. We need the money. I want to get paid as much as you, buddy, but we need to live long enough to actually drink the nuyen we earn. Cut the dreck, Sam. We both know why Dowd went down, and it wasn't the fixer or some other paranoid chip dream of yours. Sam smiles, a toothy smile. I've been waiting for this all night. New Larry has something he wants to say, don't you, Larry? Go ahead, spill it. You were sloppy. He laughs. Sloppy? You think I was sloppy? You've been twitchy all day, son. Look at your hands, they're shaking. Oh, up, Sam. If you screwed up, admit it. I'd admit if there was something to admit. I was on point. Knew Larry was supposed to cover Dowd. So apparently our friend Dowd has died. Something terrible, apparently, from what we can gather. Something dawns on him. He leans into New Larry, amused and dangerous. We were set up, and he knows it, don't you, Larry? What was that call you made before we hit Renraku? How come you couldn't geek that guy before he unloaded on Dowd? I've seen you fling a lightning bolt, son. He should have been burnt toast before his gun cleared the holster. New Larry checks his watch, licks his lips, looks over your shoulder at the darkness. He's looking for someone, and it's not the fixer. Okay, I can see where this is going. You chummers are damaged. I'm out. Did you keep us here long enough, Larry? He stops, and a smile slowly appears on his face. Looks that way. Sorry, Dracia. I kinda like you. I just like money better. We've got incoming. New Larry relaxes and throws you a Drek-eating grin. Looks like my new Renraku friends are finally here. They're gonna take that hard drive off your corpse, buddy. We should choose our friends more carefully, Jacia. Yeah, that guy was never my friend. Mine either. Think I'll shoot him. So here we go. We're in combat now. The game is kind of going on autopilot at the moment. I don't remember if we get to jump in on this, but you can see that we get to kind of go in a turn-based approach. So now the game is giving us a tutorial. Basically, we get action points to spend, things of that nature. So I've got a machete right now, which is great because I am not big on melee attacks. So here we go. So we're going to click on New Larry. 8 damage. Awesome. Can we attack him again? Yes, we can. Sam Watts gets to go now. We're gonna go behind cover. This chair doesn't give us any cover. There's cover in this game, and you can see that we've got guys over here, presumably with ranged weapons. So getting behind cover would be a really good thing, but I also want to take out New Larry here because he is right on our butts. So I think I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to click on New Larry. 12 damage to him. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then we'll finish him off. And then let's see if we can also take out this Renraku security. Okay, 10 damage. So you can see we missed, or the enemy missed rather, and that's because we are behind cover. So now we've got to decide, are we going to go in guns blazing, or... Oh, look at this. We do actually have some ranged weapons. That's nice. So we're going to go ahead and get behind cover, and we're going to just continue to take out these other guys. So that was weak, and that's because we have no points put into pistols. That's kind of part of the problem with not having points in the other weapons, is that until you get the weapon you're looking for, you don't do full damage with it. It's a little bit of a problem. So we got a 73% chance to hit this guy. I like those odds. There we go. Took him out. And then we'll attack this guy too, for good measure. We did manage to get a crit. We'll click for 10 damage and finish him off. The rifles, they're very accurate and they do pretty good damage. Not as good as those machine guns, but you know, that's alright. Yeah, we'll go here. And then we don't have really good chances here, so I'm going to aim for this guy. 66% chance, you know, what are you going to do? Let's try there. 6 damage, not great. Try again. Excellent. So you can see how many action points you have right here. Most characters have 2. You can increase that through, I believe quickness increases that. I don't quite remember offhand, but putting points into stats will increase that for you. So moving here takes one of my actions, and then attacking and killing this guy takes my final one. You can end by clicking that end button. Oh geez. That's bad. Whew. Okay. Oh gosh. What the heck is that? Yikes. So we are wounded, and you can see how much damage that did. Not good at all. We do have a basic med kit. I will be using this. We've also got this, which we restore someone to life, and we've got a couple frag grenades. So I'm going to use this med kit on myself, and then I'm going to get behind cover, actually. Yeah, we're going to get behind this full cover over here. I'm not going to attack because can't really do anything. So this is how you select your special abilities. This is kind of your burst fire, your basic attack for this weapon. This is the spray and pray. 2 attacks with less chance for a critical, may hit adjacent characters, uses 6 bullets. It's just kind of another special thing there. Looks like this has some AoE. This does not. We need to reload. We really need to reload. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. Does he have any other weapons? He does have a shotgun. He does have a shotgun. So we're gonna go... We're gonna go here. And we're gonna attack. Nope. Okay, so Sangoma, what do you have? Nothing special. Okay, so she's a shaman. She can cast Haste and Bear Totem. Haste increases the target's AP by 1 for 2 rounds, basically gives them another action. And this Bear Totem heals all friends within 3 spaces of the damage from the most recent attack, which is nice. How much AP does this take? This just takes 1. So I think I'm going to get her to cover. And I am going to heal. There we go. So you can see that it said it only heals from the most recent attack, which is interesting. This game kind of remembers how much damage you recently took. It's a very interesting way to do it. So you can't just heal infinitely. You have to kind of choose, are you going to heal this turn or risk getting hit again and losing it? So our character can mark something. Apparently you don't have to be in the Matrix to do this, which is nice. So I am going to mark this target, and then I'm going to try to hit them. Not going to happen with 35%. We're going to go for this guy again. Okay, so he's apparently not skilled with that shotgun, but that's okay. We're going to use it anyway. So that killed them. I mean, you can see how much damage that critical did. Quite nice. Line of sight blocked. Okay, so we're going to go here. And then we're going to open up on this marked target. 10 damage. Now this guy here, he got summoned in by the enemy, but if you'll notice, he ended up shooting a fireball at this mage. It's kind of dangerous to summon in creatures because they may choose to attack your enemies or they may not. You got to be really careful. Just making sure I don't have any other weapons, and I'm kind of stuck with this pistol. So we got a 50% chance, and we managed to hit. Let's see if we can finish him off. Go figure. Alright, I'm going to reload this, which takes 1 action point, and then take him out. Perfect. I believe this is still on cooldown. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to increase the AP of Sam because he's kind of our damage output right now. So he gets an extra AP. We're going to... We could reposition him. I think we're just going to take the free 44%. Even though we missed, we can't really get anywhere and do anything good. Okay, so she's taking more damage. I think we're going to need her to heal. We are going to go ahead and mark this target. And then try to shoot him. Nope. Okay, so Sam has a 62% chance from this angle. I think we're going to get a little closer. Yeah. We're going to go here. And then we're going to... Yeah, there we go. 15 damage. Not bad. Not bad at all. So let's see if we can finish this person off. This mage. There we go. Perfect. So that was our first battle. You can kind of see how things go in terms of, you know, the action, the tactics, things like that. It's a pretty good system. There's a lot of little unique things that make this game very interesting. Sangoma lowers her gun, eyes on Sam. A little bit of a typo there. You okay, Sam? Sam's breathing is heavy, and he looks shaken. That was a hell of a thing. Part of the life, Sam. You know that. You were born for this gig, Dracia. Me, not so much. I think I'm gonna hang it up. Find a nice brothel somewhere. Stay drunk until I croak. What about you? Me? I do this. It's the only life I know. Well, you're a dumbass, and I'll drink to you when you're dead. Aw, who am I kidding? I'm not gonna outlast you. Guess you can drink to me. Ah, how little he knew. How little he knew. So I think this is going to be where I cut the episode. Thanks for watching, folks. We will be continuing this playthrough. We've got quite a bit of ways to go. This game takes some interesting turns. The combat gets interesting, especially as we level up. And as you can see, Sam has died in a rather prophetic way. And we will see where this mysterious message takes us next time. Thanks for watching.